Somebody wants to say hello. Hey guys, long time no see. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, my hair is completely different. I chopped it all off and dyed it pink. Today's video is going to be a review of EF Ultimate Break's trip, the highlights of Japan. If you don't know about EF Ultimate Break, they are a group travel company that specializes in group travel for ages 18 to 35 years old. Before I go along any further, I just want to let y'all know that I am officially an ambassador for EF. So that means that I'm able to give you $100 off your very first trip that you choose to book with the EF. They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trips, and I'm very sure that you will find something that you will absolutely enjoy. So today I will be talking about flights, hotel/accommodations, activities and excursions, our tour director, and overall group vibes. So just to clarify, this trip, Highlights of Japan, was actually a plus trip. And what that means is that you stay in more hotel-like style accommodations, you get a little bit more meals, you have a little bit more excursions. And for me, it's definitely worth paying the little bit of the extra money. So Highlights of Japan, this was a 2-week-long trip, and there's so much to talk about. But first, let's talk about the flights. So I'm gonna give my flights about 3 stars out of 5 stars with EF. EF actually booked my flights for me, and now honestly I'm contemplating that I want to start to book my own flights because this flight schedule that they booked was absolutely insane. So I had a very long flight going to, so I actually flew from Dallas-Fort Worth to Houston, had a layover, and then had a 14-hour flight from Houston straight over to Tokyo Narita Airport. Now, my issue with the flights that I got booked was coming back. Coming back home, I had a really long flight itinerary. I flew from Osaka to San Francisco, from San Francisco to Houston, from Houston back straight home to Dallas. So my first flight from Osaka to San Francisco, I was originally only going to have a 2-hour layover. The flight that I was on to get there to SFO was delayed about an hour. So I was really sweating it whenever I finally landed in San Francisco. And personally, to me, a 2-hour layover for your connecting time, that seems like a very short window to go through customs, to recheck bags, everything else that you need to do, right? So whenever I landed finally in San Francisco, I only had about 45 minutes to make it from my gate to my brand new gate to get all the way to Houston. So that means I had to go through customs, I had to go through security again, I had to drop off my luggage all over again. It was a hassle, and at one point, when I finally found a security gate that wasn't too busy, I ran from that gate all the way over to my other gate to make my connecting flight to Houston. And I probably ran about a mile or a mile and a half. I'm not even kidding. Because of that, that's why I'm now a little bit hesitant to let EF book my flights. Now, however, this was the only negative experience that I had with letting EF book my flight. So I'm sure it's not like that for everybody, but this was a very short connection time already. And to have it shortened even more, it was really hard. So overall, I give the flights about 3 stars out of 5. All right, so let's talk about the hotels and accommodations. Now, I know this is a super hot topic for everybody that goes on trips with EF. And like I said, this was a plus trip, so we did stay in more hotel-like accommodations and not hostels. So I give the hotel accommodations about 4 stars out of 5. So the locations were absolutely amazing for all of these hotels. We could literally walk to a convenience store, to lunch, to any activity we wanted, to a train station. Now, whenever we were in the city Hakone, we actually stayed at an onsen hotel. We actually shared our room with several other different people. So it wasn't 2 people to a room like how it normally was. We had about 6 people in my room. We slept on the tatami mats and we were in our kimonos. That was such a fun experience. I absolutely loved it. And to be totally realistic, the hotels, besides the one in Hakone, the hotel rooms were very small, very tiny. And it seemed like the beds were a little bit smaller too, but oh well. First hotel, me and my roommate, our beds were touching together. I only had maybe I was about 6 inches away from the wall, and we had hardly any room until we got to our very last hotel in Osaka. It was called the Moxie, but that was my favorite hotel by far because it was a very big room. We had enough room to kind of sprawl out all of our suitcases and pack and repack and do everything. So just be aware, if you do book this trip, you are going to get some pretty small hotels. So don't be shocked whenever you experience that. And also, if I can find the hotels, I will try and list them right here. That way you know what you can kind of expect on your trip. Okay, so activities and excursions. I give a 5 out of 5 stars. We literally did so much. Our days were absolutely jam-packed. We went to so many temples. We went to team labs. There was even a hike option. There were options to go to museums. We visited a thrifting neighborhood in Tokyo. This proves to you that we did so much excursions. We went to the Nishiki food market. Well, we went to a lot of different food markets, honestly. We went to Nara, to the deer park. We got to pet the deer and everything. We actually got to visit the Atomic Bomb Museum, and we got to meet with 2 atomic bomb survivors. So that was very impactful for myself. And of course, we ate so much food, so much sushi and ramen. Like, guys, when I literally say that we did so much activities, it's crazy. This trip is very, very fast paced. So please be aware of that whenever you do book this trip. If you're looking for like a lounging, relaxing kind of trip, this is not the trip for you, because you will be doing a walk. I swear I walked over 15,000 steps every single day. The only excursion that I did not do, I believe, was there's a hiking tour now. And I opted to not do it come the day of because I was absolutely exhausted and I just wanted to save my energy for something else. I'm going to try to list out all of the excursions that EF wanted you to pay extra for, like the optional ones. I'll go ahead and list them out right here. But the excursions, I literally could not get enough. It was so much fun. Okay, next let's talk about our tour director, Mari. So Mari was absolutely amazing. She, I think, is by far my favorite tour director that I have had. She went up and out of her way to accommodate us, make sure we had a great time. I give Mari like 1,000,000 stars out of 5. Like, she was fantastic. She made things very fun, very exciting. She was always very positive and very upbeat. And whenever we went to Hiroshima, that was actually Mari's hometown, so she was super excited to show us around her hometown. She was just very down to earth type of woman, and everyone got along with her very well. Nobody had an issue with the tour director. She had these little catchphrases that she would say all the time to kind of like get our attention. She would go, and she was just adorable. I love her so much. And there's actually one point in the trip where I needed some medication for myself and I didn't know where to find it. And I texted Mari and I was like, hey, I'm not quite sure where to find this. Do you have any idea? And so she sent me a list of pharmacies to go to. So Mari honestly went above and beyond the whole entire tour. And if you have had the pleasure of having her as your tour director, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But like I said, the best tour director I have ever had. And honestly, I've heard very good things about almost all the tour directors for the highlights of Japan trips. So whoever you get, you'll be very, very lucky to have. Okay, so let's talk about group vibes. So group vibes, I automatically give a 5 out of 5 because it was just the best time ever. And we had a rather large group. We had over 40 people in this group, and I didn't get to know everybody's name by the time we left. That's how large our group was. It was insane. And this is one of EF's most popular trips, so you are guaranteed to get a pretty large group. There was a lot of group shenanigans, of course, and everything. A lot of people got drunk and had a fun time. There were people that were very chill. Everybody made friends with almost everyone that they could, and there was a friend group or somebody else that you could kind of tag along with, no matter who you were. Everyone really looked out for each other. Everyone, we all kind of developed our own little inside jokes, honestly. It was just so much fun. And I actually made some very good friends and some really good connections. So Ariana, Abby, Jeffrey, if y'all see this video, hi, I love you and I miss y'all so, so much. But this was the trip that absolutely did it for me. This has me wanting to travel with these people next year. And actually, the friends that I mentioned, we are all kind of planning on going on a trip to Bali next year. So that's how good of friends I made on this trip. It was absolutely phenomenal. All right, so that's the video. So like I said, by far, this was my most favorite trip with EF, and there's a reason why. And if you watch this video hoping to gain some insight about the highlights of Japan trip, I truly hope that I helped you in making your decision. I really, really hope you do go on this trip for your own sake, because it will be the best thing that ever happens to you. I guarantee it. If you want something super jam-packed, super fun, always busy, please do this trip. Do yourself a favor, book the trip. It will 100% be worth it. And as a reminder, I am an ambassador for EF Ultimate Break, so I do have a link down below that you can click to book your very first trip with. That will give you $100 off. So use that to your advantage. I would love it if you do so. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please be sure to subscribe down below. Give this video a like and a thumbs up. I will have my social medias down here too, so you can see more about this trip. I have a lot of photos and videos on there, and I sincerely hope you do book this trip. I hope you'll have a great day. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.